Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Starmade. In the previous episode we have established our power system finally on the station and we have added a little decorative part on our roof. Today I would actually like to take this concept to the next step. I mean, this building is far from done and I would like to have the next addition to it. So this is probably what I'm going to take care of in today's episode. I'm not yet sure how long it's going to take, however, I do want to snatch myself a bunch of blocks. So I would say we're gonna continue with our current theme, which is basically to go with the blue rocks as a foundation. So let's see, terrain blocks, yeah, there we go. Here we got our blue blocks. I want to grab myself about 10,000 if I can do so. Yes, indeed. Beautiful, and we shall continue with our building here. Oh man, this is gonna be magnificent, in my mind at least. So I already set up a symmetry plane, which is good. I think we're just gonna do the circle that I prepared right here. By the way, they added a new feature to this. I can now actually save all the inputs I had. So it's much less of a trial and error because all the values you have set for the build helper are being saved, and therefore if you need to do adjustments, it's much easier because the adjustments are relative and not absolute, if you know what I mean. Okay, there we go. Here we have our first defined area. This is going to be the first wing of this adjacent building. And I want to add a secondary shape to that. So let's go back into the build helper, the circle, okay. And you can see these are the values I used before. Now we're actually going to go with a much smaller radius. I would say about 19 should probably do the trick. So where did that go? Oh, did I? What? Something happened here. Circle, okay. Okay, so this was the worst example of the build helper ever. I'm absolutely not sure why it didn't work. However, we can make the shapes ourselves. I have a pretty good idea what I want to go for. Okay, now of course it isn't as round as it could be, but I do like organic shapes, as you know me. So we're gonna remove this inner circle here and we're just going to go with this new shape. So this is gonna be a very interesting shape of this wing of this building. Also, we will have to think about the entrance here. Are we gonna make something in the center? Probably. I mean, it makes a lot of sense if we kind of opened up this area here. Anyways, let's try to fill this shebang out. Is this the direction I want to go? Yeah, probably. We can probably do a whole lot with just one click if I do it correctly. There we go. That's not too shabby. Let me quickly fill the rest up. And there we go. Okay, this is gonna be our main platform. Now I want to kind of surround it with a nice white color, or should we go with orange? Yeah, let's go with white. That's the better idea. Yeah, look at that. That makes so much of a difference. Anyways, now we want to make the basic walls of the building, and for that I think I'm actually gonna take a small little break, not to waste too much footage time that we can spend on this video. And once I've made some progress, I'll be right back. And there we go, we are at the next step of the build, and I kind of decided we are going for a temple shape, kind of. I mean, it's not going to be the most magnificent thing ever, but I have actually kind of a good idea where I want to go with this. However, what we have to do is kind of drag it downwards in the dimension. This is way too flat here at the bottom. I mean, the entire thing here practically is too flat. There is still a building planned for down below. I'm actually thinking about just expanding the lower part with the shapes that we already have, this zigzag pattern. That could be a thing, right? And then in here, we are probably gonna have some kind of a council area, kind of a council room. On the top, of course, I want some kind of a roundish shaped roof. However, this staircase is gonna be out in the open at all times, so I'm gonna try to build kind of around it. So we could either think about what we want to plan here in the center. Maybe let's lighten it up a bit. I mean, I want a door, for instance, right here. And this should be like a magnificent door. Maybe we can even add an opening functionality. So we're not just gonna go for the blast doors, but we're gonna do something nice here. So I guess I want this to be at least, let's say, 7 in height. And then we are gonna do a roundish shape with a bunch of pillars on the sides. So maybe something like this. Yeah. What are we gonna take as pillars? Probably the blue. Oh man, this is purple and blue. Can this go together? I'm not sure. This might look a little bit weird. However, this is with the lighten mode. Yeah, look at that. It looks much better without the lighten mode, so don't worry guys. However, I want to make some kind of a frame around the door here, and obviously we want a little bit of haulage, you know, sloped blocks in order to make this a tad more attractive here. So yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing just that. This looks actually rather snazzy, I have to say. Yeah, look at that. I actually like that. I don't even want to smooth out the corners correctly. I mean, the game is blocky anyways. There's not too much sense in putting the edges and the tetrahedroheptabonal cubes. We're just gonna go where it takes us. So maybe we can do something about the flooring here. This doesn't look like a good thing to walk over. We most likely want to kind of outline this a little bit. Yeah, somewhat like this. Beautiful. Let me actually repeat this on the other side. Okay, there we go, beautiful. It's done on both sides. Now I want to define the area where we are gonna be seated. So maybe we can do this with the build helper this time. I hope the ellipsoid might work. We're gonna go with a radius of about 21 blocks and then a y-axis of about 11. Hold the phone. What is the z-axis? I'm just gonna have it at 0. I don't understand. Well, I see. I had no idea. Man, the build helper doesn't really help me today. I think we're just gonna do the shapes ourselves, as per usual. So I'm probably going to start with a little outline around the edges of the room. And yeah, after that we want to define the area where all the seats are gonna be, kind of in a circle-ish manner. And also we're gonna add a bunch of lights. So I think I'm gonna take another recording break at this point in order to progress this build a little bit further. See you in just a second. Alright guys, I took the thing to the next level, and as you can see, I took myself the liberty of already starting with the central council area. I put in a bunch of lights, and I also made the bottom part of this entire thing, and I'm kind of thinking of installing a hangar here. I will probably end up removing a few things from here or making a bunch of small platforms for smaller ships to actually dock onto, and then you can just conveniently go towards that direction where the actual mothership hangar is. And from this point, no, I have no way up yet. But I guess that is something we can install easily. But look at the dimensions of this thing. This is at least 150 blocks here in width, I believe, or in length. However, let's have a look at the council area. We of course still want to make a different kind of flooring and then probably a bunch of seats everywhere and maybe a table in the center. That would be great. But other than that, I'm actually pretty happy with the looks so far, especially with the bottom parts. I actually like that it is not entirely closed off. I will still make a little section for the area right here. This is like a too sharp border, and I would like to hook it up at least somewhat with the lower parts of these struts or whatever they are representing. And then of course still the top part is something we have to deal with. So what could we do with the top part? Because I don't necessarily want to make it round. I'm not even sure if that would be possible in these circumstances. However, I still would like to be able to achieve something great. So I thought, why not actually go with the kind of sloped staircase pattern here, but do it a little bit further up. So maybe we start the building by going a little bit into this direction. Or actually we could just start from right here. Is this actually enough space for me to fit through? It could be a little bit finicky to do that. So maybe let's start as of this point. As of this point we're gonna go up in a staircase pattern. And these are kind of gonna dictate the new shapes of the roof part of this building. And of course everything else we can then again fill up with modules that we still require. Maybe a bunch of shields would be great. There we go, somewhat like this. And now, of course, oh man, I kind of would like to be able to see the staircase, but maybe also not. So I'm not really sure what I'm talking about here. I'm just talking in order to fill up some more time so that I can show you what is actually happening on the screen. And I can do this for a very long time, but it is not very interesting. What about if we actually filled this up with LARIMAR? That would be a punch in the face of the patriarchy. There we go, take that, I like that. Now, do I have enough white armor in order to make this more magnificent? I don't think so. I think what we have to do is potentially set up some yellow hull instead here. Is that yellow? It kind of looks orange, but I guess we're just gonna trust the game. Colors are only a social concept anyways. Just like gender and identity, sometimes I identify as a weird, dwarvish, creepy little angel with LARIMAR eyes. Don't judge me. Right, okay, so now that we got this is always the worst part about these builds. Now, how do we connect this up in a beautiful, magnificent manner without screwing us over all the time? And I think that I have a plan on how I could potentially achieve that. Okay, now if we would continue it like this, how would it turn out? That is the question, I think. And also, are we happy with this border here? I don't think so. I think what we should do is add some purple hull. Yeah. Purple hull is gonna solve the freaking issue, let me tell you that. Because now we can just continue this pattern until we reach the very end, and I think, yeah, it will continue for 2 or 3 more blocks. However, at this point we want to do something with the roof. So for once I think I'm just going to fill it up with the blocks here, with the purple ones. Yeah guys, let me actually continue for one more step. There's also gonna be some lights that I want to install, but after that I'm probably going to wrap up the episode. I mean, I've placed a good amount of blocks today, I have to say. And it is good so, because judging from the feedback of the previous episode, you guys actually enjoyed the building and progression episodes. You don't always have to have like a countdown timer or an automatic removing Rube Goldberg magnificence. You are actually also happy if we get somewhere with this thing. So let me do the progress and I'll be right back. And there we go guys, I think I'm done for today's episode. This is the final product for the time being. It is still not completely done, and you can see I basically utilized the blocks that I had at my disposal, which kind of ends always up in a clownish design, but I think with the additions I still have in mind we should be good. However, I will have to do a little bit of crafting and potentially also gathering some resources. So potentially in the next episode we should actually utilize this gateway in order to get to our new mining location and gather up a bunch of things. That would actually be great, wouldn't it? But yeah, what do you think about that? The roof is now done. Let's actually have a little tour. Maybe we actually even get out of the build block and just have a look at that in a natural. Man, look at that. This building is enormously huge. I should really have a gravity unit here. Anyways, we're walking through the big gate right here. Well, it is not really big, but what you're gonna do, this room is awesome. I love it. It's just not enough lighting at the moment, I would say. And oh, I totally forgot to exchange the flooring here and actually add in the seats. So that could be something we should still do. However, yeah, lighting is the biggest issue if I have a look at it like this. However, let's check out the staircase. Oh yeah, oh, this is amazing. I love it. This is actually going to be my screenshot. I don't know, it looks intriguing to me. Boop. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, and then we can move up the stairs here. Can you actually move up 1 block without it having to be sloped? I'm not sure. Anyways, let's test out the effect once we come up here. Oh my gosh, yeah. This is exactly what I was imagining it would be. Look at that. We can walk past the angel guy, and I really should have had a gravity module. Look at that. I just see why it looked so weird from the top, of course. Half of the flowers, or even most of them, are pointing downwards. That is so miserable. No, it's actually all of them. I placed all of them in the wrong direction. Oh man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Let's actually get into a ship core and have a look at it again from afar. I just want to see how it kind of fits into the entire design. I think it's actually a good addition to the garden we added in the previous episode. So let's pan around here and check this out. I like it. I'm going to take it. I especially like the staircase. It is exactly what I imagined it would be. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna add all of the council seats in the next episode, or maybe in between the episodes, I'm not sure yet. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time, and hopefully I'm going to catch you in the next one. Bye bye.